Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Chad Smith Podcast. My name is Chad Smith, and today is Thursday, July 28th, 2022. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host from California. Please welcome Spooky Morales.
Hey, Chad. Good morning. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I like your T-shirt.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. This is from the UFO Garage podcast store, if anybody's interested. Yeah, that's right.
I'm interested.
UFO Garage. Anybody that likes it.
You know how I like my black and white together. I like that. So
right.
I think I'm gonna have to.
Shows up good on the camera. Good morning, everybody in the chat.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, we got quite a few right now already. Got Nightmare coming in here hot in the morning. We got Sarah Myflock. Good to see you. Jake Smith's having a bad day at work. I'm sorry, man. Aww. I'm sure you probably can't even listen to this right now, but I hope you're having a better day, and you're going to be on afternoon soon, so we'll be on the same shift next week.
Oh, nice.
I think it's next week. Simon, what's up, dude? Good to see you. We got Thin Lizzie Borden. How's it going, Bree? Great to see you in here. Rodney Posky. What's up, man? Go help Jake out. He needs some help, sounds like. Let's see. JoJo's in the house. What's up, JoJo? Good to see you early this morning. Jamie, how's it going? Awesome to see you, as always. Let's see. Lynn LeBlanc, how's it going? Great to see you. You'll be listening and lurking. No problem. I do the same thing when I'm working. Just shut the screen off and listen. Good morning, Enzo. Your internet is supposed to be worked on sometime today, so if I disappear without saying goodbye, don't take it personally. No problem, Enzo. Great to see you as always. Thanks for your support. Yep, and that's the link for the UFO Garage store, so please go check that out if you're interested in the merch. Paranormal Highway, how's it going? How's she going there? Good to see you, buddy. Every now and then I can hear my own accent because people pointed out to me and now I can hear it. Hey.
Gonna read some cards with Posky?
Yeah, go read some cards on Sunday with Posky. Then we'll go up to Mackinac and have some pasties. Carnundrum, great to see you. Vera Ray, awesome to see you in here. Oracles and Beyond, how's it going, Cassie? Man, do you ever sleep? I don't think Cassie's gotten any sleep lately.
She doesn't sleep.
Lockbeard, how's it going, sir? Great to see you. And we got Bigfoot Anon Connor and Jeanette Sanchez. Great to see you guys, too.
Chad, do we have a guest waiting behind stage?
Yeah, it sounds like I could just keep going all day. So we're going to go ahead and bring on our guest. Russ Kellett sorry, let me just start that over, Spooky. Russ Kellett is well known in the UFO community as a UFO investigator. He's also an abductee who is part of the secret space program, which we're going to learn about today. So please, for the first time, welcome to the show, Russ Kellett. How's it going, sir?
Hi there, Chad. Hi, Spooky. How you doing?
Hello, Russ. Good to see you, man.
Hi.
Thanks for being here with us.
Say again, sorry?
I said it's wonderful to have you with us, man. Good morning. Well, good afternoon to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. It's a little later there. I think we're about 5 hours ahead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, just about.
About 3 p.m. there. Awesome. And you're going through a heat wave. I'm sorry to hear that. But we're going to be...
Right, yeah, but we're not bothered over here. It's okay.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. So, I don't know where we should start. I'd like to know where you got started with the UFO topic. Like, is this something that started when you were a young child or something that came in later in life?
No, I suppose it was as a young child. I'd seen something a little bit strange when I was about 4 years old. I was upstairs looking for Christmas presents in my grandma and granddad's bedroom. And basically, I could hear shouting going on downstairs. My mum and my grandma was asking where I was. And I said I were in the bathroom and looking for Christmas presents. So basically, run to the window, just going past the window to go downstairs. And I noticed this person in a suit and an helmet, like a flying suit, a space suit, come through the gate, and he stopped, and I was looking at him, and there was something silver behind him. And I thought it was a dustbin man, dustbin wagon at first. And I'm looking, and I waved at him, and he sort of like scuttled off backwards and then walked behind this silver. I could see it wasn't the dustbin wagon, the usual dustbin wagon. And he went behind this silver object, and it shook, and it went up into the sky. And I'm looking up, thinking, did that just go up in the sky? And next thing I could hear my grandma and my mum shouting, come on, come down here. So right, better get downstairs. So I thought, well, I better not say what I've just seen, looking out the window, because I'm not supposed to be in the bedroom, you know what I mean, looking for Christmas presents. So anyway, that was the first thing which happened, which what I would say was like very strange. Then, sorry,
I was just going to ask you, did he seem like he acknowledged you when you waved at him? Did it seem like he was?
He sort of like waved back. He put his hand up, and then I'm looking, and he sort of like he sort of like walked backwards and went behind this silver, whatever it was, sort of like, could it have been a flying saucer or whatever? It wobbled like from side to side and then went up. So obviously it wasn't the dustbin men, and they don't usually wear helmets like spacemen,
Right.
So that was one thing. Then something else strange. My dad came home from work, and he was excited and telling my mum that when he was at work on his tea break, early hours at morning, because he was on night shift, he was talking to one of his workmates. There were some more workmates behind them, and his two brothers were working there talking. And there were a lot of shouting and bawling, and he had sort of like his back turned to them. And when he turned around, he said, what's going on, And they shouted, oh, look, there's like a UFO, and it's just gone in that cloud. So my dad were a bit nagged that he'd missed this. And it was like a torpedo or a cigar-shaped object. So he's telling me mum, and I'm sat, like a young kid, at breakfast table, listening to all this, fascinated about UFOs and what have you. And then he started buying books about UFOs and Bermuda Triangle, all that sort of thing. So I think he'd actually got me really involved in the subject without even realizing. But I know that I've been asked over the years, is there any reason why you be abducted by aliens, and being asked, has your dad been in the army, anybody in your family been in the army? And I only found out about 10 years ago, maybe more, that my dad had been in the army in tank regiment over here, but it was, national service. And he was actually stationed over in Germany. Now, something a bit strange, because I overheard a conversation with my sister, and he was talking to a comrade of his who was over there. And like I say, we didn't even know my dad had been in the army. And he's, like, we shouldn't really talk about this, Jim. He said, I've got some photographs, he said, of you when you were in tank regiment, and that incident where you were an atomic umpire, and here's the pictures, and this is the atom bomb going off. And I'm looking at my sister thinking, from not knowing that your dad were in army to finding out he were in army tank regiment and part of a atomic bomb test.
Yeah.
And so when his friend had gone, he hadn't seen him for like 50 years. there's these photographs, and it's my dad, and they're all wearing these jackets that says Atomic Umpire, and there's a picture of this atom bomb going off, and this is in Germany in 1956, and I'm thinking, you've got to be joking. Now, apparently, it was a low yield atom bomb, so it was for like chucking behind enemy line, and for like shock troops to go in and clean up, you know. But even so, you know, in 1956 in Germany, you know, sort of like, I just find it quite amazing. So
Yeah.
is this why I've been abducted? Because is there something that's changed in my dad's DNA or in some, you know, part of his body? And obviously I'm my father's son. Has my body been changed? But then again, when I've been abducted, I have actually got an illness called ME, or myalgia encephalitis. It's also known as, what do they call it now? Fibromyalgia, you know, and it's basically all my body is in pain all the time. All my muscles, and sort of like having to take lots of medication, you know, like for pain. And I'm coming across a lot of other abductees that seem to have the same problem and seem to have this illness as well. And this isn't just hearsay, because this is one of the reasons why I became an investigator in this subject. Obviously, when you've had something happen to yourself, for selfish reasons, I'm trying to find people in the same position at seeing things, being abducted, and trying to get some answers. So, you know, so like I say, it's through research and meeting people and taking notes, knowing that there seems to be a lot of people that have got this ME, this illness. So that,
Yeah.
and along with, you know, my dad being in an atom bomb test, it makes you wonder, you know, is this something to do with why I've been abducted?
Right. That's very interesting to find out, because I've never asked anybody about that. If there's any type of atomic connection or a nuclear connection to something like that changing your DNA, and then, like you said, going from generation to generation, you know, over time, if it just tweaks it a little bit in one generation, you know, who knows what can happen after that. And then plus that puts like a signature on your DNA, where it's like, you can put people into a group that have been affected by a nuclear reaction like that. So that's an interesting connection.
It's just a thought. It's not definite, but then again, who's going to tell you if it's true or not? I mean,
True. Right.
Is the government going to tell you? Let's be honest about it. You know, like.
No, I think we're finding out that the government's hiding a lot more information than we care to.
Oh yeah. Can say that again.
They do not like to tell you stuff like that.
What do you think about that, Russ? Comparing the way that the UK government is handling the disclosure process versus like the United States.
I didn't know there was one. Sorry.
You didn't know there was a disclosure process?
No.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I must have missed it somewhere. I think about 25 years ago, I watched a program on the disclosure, you know, sort of like process that was supposed to be in operation. Well, you know, sort of like I'm closer to my box than I am living, so I don't think I'm going to see it. You know, to be quite honest. I mean, let's be honest about it, right? Yeah, the government. I mean, we've just had this thing about this pandemic, and you know, we find out that all the MPs and what have you are all partying, whilst they've told everybody how bad it was, you know, like to party, and you can't go out, you can't meet people, and there were people getting knocked to the ground by police in this country, elderly people, sickening. And, you know, these people, and it's not just on one occasion, it seems that they've been out living it up, drinking and, you know, sort of like partying when they've told everybody to stay in. You know, like there's no logic behind it. So what people are saying now is, don't believe a word that they tell you. and then you can't go far wrong.
That's
Right.
true. Yeah, that's why so many people in the community are saying that disclosure is within us. Like the people that are doing all the research and the people that have been affected by these things, and that's what drives them to do more research and investigate what is really going on. Those are the people that are actually, if you trust people like that, those are the people that are actually bringing out the information. And that's the disclosure is us just having these conversations. And I think we need to get away from relying on the government telling us everything and just trusting ourselves, because we're the ones, that benefit from it.
Well, I can remember the disclosure conference, and one of the guys from this country who was supposed to be in some UFO desk, the first thing he said, he had the mic, and the first thing he said was he could neither confirm or deny. Now it's like you've got a golden opportunity. You've been asked to go speak about this, right? Yeah. And you can neither confirm or deny. Why ask somebody in the government to talk if they can't confirm or deny when there's people like myself that can prove what's... You see, the difference is it's like this. I've been out when all this happened and I got a camera and I started filming. One of the first things that happened is whilst I'm filming, I get zapped by this UFO that I'm filming. I can feel my body, there's this energy going down and up my body. And I said to my friend who had handed the camera to show him this UFO, and I said, give his camera back a minute. And I started filming again. When I rewound the video, you can see 5 balls of light fly down, and you can see it, and it's in a split second. So when I slowed the camera down and put it in slow motion, you can see 5 balls come down and hit me whilst I'm filming. Right, it's on YouTube. If you put Russ Kellett UFO investigator, it's called Russ being zapped. So I'm getting zapped by these balls of light that you can see have been shot down from this UFO that I'm filming, right? So then I go out to a friend's house who's been having some very strange things happening where he lives. There's been things seen, flying saucers seen. There's a number of these balls of light or craft that are flying around. And there's some even been seen which look like a pterodactyl, right? Yeah. So I'm talking to him, telling him I've got this new sat nav, and I'm looking up, telling him that there's 7 satellites above. And I looked up, and as I looked up, there's this object. I can't describe it. It's very similar to a triangle. So I opened the back of the boat again and got my camera out, and I shouts over, Tony, have you seen that? I didn't need to ask him because I could see his face looking up. And he went in and he got his binoculars out. So I started filming this craft, and it goes in the distance, and then it just comes down. And it looks, for all the world, like a flying man. It looks like a man with a jetpack. You know, you can't describe what it looks like as it came down. Now, I'm talking to him. He's getting really worried. He's Tony, and he's saying, oh, don't go after it. Don't go after it. You know, it's bad news, is this? And we went in. Then when I got in at home, there's like 2 hours missing time. The next thing, so this again is up on my YouTube. It's called, I think it's a flying man. So that's something else daytime. So then I'm out and I'm looking at something which looks like a dolphin in the sky. And I'm thinking, it's got to be a balloon, you know, one of these helium balloons. So I zoom in, pan out and look down, and I'm looking for a tether and looking down on the beach, looking to see where somebody's holding this tether. There's nobody holding anything. And there's like a dolphin moving around in the sky. That's on me YouTube as well. If you put Russ Kellett UFO investigator, you can take a look and see. Then I filmed 2 flying triangles in Filey Bay at the side of the road for 20 minutes. They come out and take off and fly south down to next town, which is Bridlington. So it's like I'm able to go out and film these craft all around me. You know, so is there a coincidence? Is it a case of I can just go out and do this? You know, people have told me, you know, you're a conduit. You know, these things are around you. You know, so it's...
Yeah. You know, that's the thing is, even though I've been in this community for, you know, like a year now, and I haven't, you know, I came into this without having any experiences. I just came into this with an interest in it. And as far as I know, I haven't had any experiences. But the thing is when I go outside and look up in the sky, I can stay out there for a half hour or whatever. And I even talk to the sky sometimes and say, okay, you know, this would be a good time if you want. I'm not going to film you. Just wanted to say hi. You know, I still don't have any sightings, and I don't blame anything for that. I just, you know, it's just not my time yet. But there are people that just go outside and it's right there. Oh. Waiting for you. And then there's also people like Chris Bledsoe who will be sitting on his couch watching TV and just have a feeling like they're going to be out there. If I go out there right now, they're out there waiting for me. And he'll go out and there's one hovering above his pond.
Oh, yeah.
And so yeah, there are people that are, it does seem like, I always go back to the radio frequency analogy because it just seems to make the most sense to me. It's just, if you're on a certain frequency and other people just aren't on that frequency, you know, you're going to see things on this frequency up here that just people won't be able to see because they're not on the same wavelength. It seems
That's
like...
right. I mean, I've got other friends that have got in contact with me because I had a UFO group, and they were seeing things and they were filming things. One of my friends, he filmed a dogfight in the sky with a circular craft and a flying triangle, and the flying triangle reverses back and smacks into this ball of light. Yeah, and the ball of light moves away from it and it reverses back and goes in, it hits it again. It like goes bang, bang, bang. And this ball of light moves away like that as it's trying to hit it. And then there's another flying triangle comes out of the sky, and that doesn't attack. That goes back into this big dark cloud. But then you get a red ball of light that turned up and went into this like white ball of light, you know, sort of like, and then after an hour, when this ball of light actually comes down, it looks like 6 or 7 missiles go from the ground up towards this ball of light, as if it's like surface to air missiles attacking it. But the problem is, and this is the problem, and I don't know why, because I've been in media a lot more than a lot of people, made front page over here about 4 or 5 times. But when you're giving them evidence and video footage, we've had a bit of a negative response. In a way, it's like, oh well, this video is like 20-year-old, you know, and I say, yeah, but I, you know, filmed this, and somebody asked me if I wanted to be in a documentary, and, you know, 5 years later, they never got back to me. So I let it do nothing for 5 years, waiting for them to get back to us. And then somebody else asked, you know, do you want to do something with? So that's 10 years. And I just packed it in because, like, you know, wasting. So that shelf life is sort of like gone, really, in a way. But yeah, you know, the media can turn around and say, well, it's a bit old, it's a bit dated now. And then the palmer's off with this dodgy footage of this Tic Tac from 2004. And I'm thinking, hang on, wait a minute. We've got video footage 10 years younger than that and better footage. And you're saying that ours is dated. How does that work?
No, for me, the older the footage, the better. Because
well, we're on what you call we're on I8. Whoops, we're on I8 cameras, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Night vision, Sony, and that's I've got 6 of these here. Sort of like some to put old footage on because obviously the heads get a bit sometimes. That's a dolphin.
Yeah, this is amazing because there's somebody, there is someone in the community that he has this theory that there are dolphins flying the crafts. So it's so interesting that that you actually have footage of a dolphin. I mean, it looks just like a dolphin in the sky.
Yeah, and there's no, and the thing is, I did a light blast on it, and there's no tether going down. It stays in that situation. I know it's a bit wobbly, but I mean, I'm zoomed in, and you cannot see. There's no tether. I look down on the sands. There's nobody looking up or holding a tether or anything.
Right. I wonder if I can slow it down and try to get rid of that shakiness a little bit. But either way, even with it being blurry, you can tell it's definitely the shape of a dolphin. That's very interesting. Looks just like the fins in the back, the body, and then the top fin. That's amazing. And I appreciate you doing your research with the... You said you did a light. You used a light to check for a tether?
Yeah, you use light blast on it, sort of like, and if there's anything there, it'll show up and you can do it yourself. You know what I mean? There's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's like loads of people, the equipment say you get a, copy of the actual video, you can do it yourself, and there's nothing there whatsoever.
And what type of camera was this filmed on? This wasn't digital. This was
no, it's same
film.
I8.
Yeah, those are the
That's
best
all I
ones.
use.
Those are the best. I love that kind of footage because it's not. You can't say that it's doctored by any type of digital.
All the master tapes are there, right? Yeah. You look at the master tapes, and you can see there's no cutting and splicing. You get people saying, "Oh, well, you can do this." Yeah, you can do it if you work at somewhere like 20th Century Fox or wherever. But sort of like, digitally enhance it and all this. But there's telltale signs when that's being done. Apparently,
you're right.
We're not interested in trying to fool anybody. Anybody wants to have a look at the videotapes? I've got all the tapes here. These are ones. This is a box of me tapes, and it's like contact. That's me being contacted. Lines on the moon. That's a good one, but it's what happens is 2 lines go down almost vertical down the moon, and sort of like we try to figure out, well, how's that happen? A UFO buzzes helicopter. A small UFO goes beneath the helicopter and around. A police helicopter. Flying man. There's about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 videos in there. And I've got another 50.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, we try. What I used to do is I used to get a enhancement specialist to have a look as footage, and I mean, really, I don't need to because I know that I haven't messed about with them and I know what I've filmed. And most of the time, what they say is, well, we can't tell you what you're filming, but we can tell you what you're not filming, and you're not filming anything normal. You know, it's not aircraft, it's not balloons, it's not satellites, you know, it's not stars, planets, you know, sort of like, but we can't tell you what you're filming because it's none of what we've just said, you know, because there's values, there's something called lux values, and every light has a different value. So they can tell you if you film something, and they can tell you what kind of light it's come from, and the value of that light, and they can tell you if it's, you know, whatever, from a candle, a match, to a floodlight, you know, to a sun, and they just can't tell us, you know, what we're filming.
Right. Yeah, I really appreciate. I'm sure you're familiar with Dorothy Izat, and she's the lady that had, I mean, miles and miles of film of I'm not sure the type of film she was using, but she just had miles of film filming these crafts, and everything that people have gone over, they've all said that it's completely legitimate and nothing's been doctored. I think even Kodak went over the footage.
That's right.
Is that right, Spooky?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kodak went over the footage and said that they verified it all as being authentic. So that's really cool to hear. It's a lot easier to do that with film than digital recording. If you get a digital recording, everyone wants to bash it and say that it's been doctored. But when you have film like that and Kodak comes out and says that this is legitimate film footage, it's hard to compete with that stuff. So I appreciate the film footage. This is the one labeled Flying Man.
That's right, yeah.
And for anyone listening on the podcast side, we're showing video on YouTube right now. So if you'd like to see this video, you can check it out on YouTube. You know what? I can almost see that being a dolphin too.
You know something? It's funny you should say that because everybody else says it's either a dolphin or, you know, the old telephone handset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sort of
Yeah.
like.
Oh, that is so strange.
And I had 2 hours missing time after that. My friend Tony, he's passed away now.
Mm-hmm.
He went and got his binoculars, and he had a better camera than what I had. It was unbelievable. And he went and he just looked, and, you know, sort of like, he said, "Oh, Russ, it was amazing what I saw. But please do not go out and look for it." You know, and I'm saying, no, don't go out. So anyway, I give it an hour, and I went out. Now, the thing is, the next day, I went looking where this object was seen last. And in the sky, as I'm filming, there's a flying triangle. And this is, I took, you know, a load of photographic evidence around this area. And lo and behold, on the film, when it came back, I'm looking and I'm thinking, I don't believe that. Right where I'm looking, where this thing came down, there's a flying triangle, and it's blatant. And this is the next day.
Did you say it was blinking?
So no, the next day, it was there. The flying triangle was there in the sky, right where that UFO, that sort of like flying man, came down. So,
man, that's this stuff has to be frustrating. Do you ever lose sleep just with your mind going nonstop trying to figure out what this stuff is?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's the problem is, since all this, you see, it started when I went missing on a motorbike. All this, I went down this tunnel in the road, and I ended up in this room, and there's these tall 10-foot bald aliens, like human, a bit like Nosferatu, and they injected something in back of my neck, and I was put back in this chair, and I had this tube put down my throat and this helmet put on. Then the next thing, I was sort of like up in this chair had slid upwards, and it was really high. And I was like in this arena, and I noticed there was other people in the same position as me. And the next thing, there's like in this helmet, there's like all this information, and it was telling us basic battle skills and about using these weapons and everything, and these suits what we'd been given. And that happened about 3 times until the last time when I was in the same situation where I was on a motorbike and I was going down this tunnel again. And the next thing is that, you know, I had this same thing happen, but I was in this now what you call like an hall, and it had a checkerboard floor, and we basically naked, and this thing comes over us like mist, and then we dried like these blowers, dryers, and what have you, and then this sluice thing comes, and we're told to drink this water, and it makes us sick into this sluice came down this side of this wall. We drunk some more, and it made us sick again, and then it goes back, and the next thing, this thing comes down, and it's like mist again, and then we get blow dried again, dry. Then this wall comes down, and we're in a long line, and there's this like this unit that comes forward like a locker, and we put this suit on. It's like white, it's very thin, like curtain material, and when you put it on, it almost like clings to you, and you turn this, we're told to turn this knob, this dial, and it goes different colors. It goes from white to like yellow, green, dark green, blue, and black, and it tightens. And we're wearing this suit with these bolts at the bottom, all in one. And then there's an helmet. We have to put the helmet on. We pick the weapon up, this rifle, and there's these like what you would call magazines, but they're not magazines because they don't have any rounds in them. The magazines are actually batteries, and it's a sound weapon. And the next thing, basically, we're carrying weapons. The units are closed and what have you, and this wall goes back. And with these lockers, it's all now back. And we're in a line, and now we're facing this big doorway, and these things come up from the ground, and they're like what you would call what would you call them now? They're just these tubes come up, and on top of these tubes are like crystal balls, and these crystal balls, when you put your hands on top of them, you disappear. You just disappear, right? Yeah. And these are what I can only describe as a teleportation system. So as soon as you do that, you teleported, and then you're there, and in your helmet, it tells you exactly your commands, your orders, you know, from HQ, and telling you about, you know, the battle that you're taking part in. It tells you your enemy, and the enemy, they have the people that are actually working alongside them. So, you know, sort of like, so this is like your enemy, and where the location is, and, you know, sort of like if they've got a base, and basically then we're fighting. A lot of the time, it were like these dragon race, like massive 15-foot tall creatures, like dragons. But the people really are doing all the fighting. I suppose that like the people, like these aliens have got us fighting for them. These dragon race, they've got people that they've abducted fighting for them. So it's their allies. So we're fighting this dragon race and their allies, and they're fighting this other alien race and we're their allies. And, you know, sort of like we've been on different planets. We've been on on Earth, with different places around Europe, Eastern Europe, South America, you know, sort of like, and there's things going on, and there's battles all around all the time, and you just don't realize, you know, you just don't. It's like, and you're not going to find out by, you know, the media companies. They're not going to tell you because they're owned by governments. No matter what anybody says, you know, they're owned by governments.
Russ, why do you think some people are able to see these and other people are not?
See them in what way? Sorry.
Some people are able to look up in the sky, see orbs, see craft, but others are not. It's very frustrating to try to explain to people what you see,
Yeah.
and they say they can't see it.
I did an experiment. I met a fantastic guy, Jose Escamiles, I think is his name. He did a lot of filming with rods, yeah, and lovely chap. He passed away a few years ago, and I went out looking for these rods. And if you have a look on my website, it says rod on YouTube, and I filmed the rod. So what we did was we went out and did an experiment, and we sat looking forward with the camera rolling, and we said, right, let's just see. And I can actually see these things flying around, and I say to the camera, where I see them, where they come into view and go out of view, just look at it as a 12 clock, you know, 12-hour clock. And I'm saying I'm seeing something go at 7 o'clock up to 1 o'clock, or 12 o'clock down to 5 o'clock. And when you slow the videos down, you can actually see what I'm saying is true, because when you slow it down, you can see whereabouts the move from and move to. So it's like, I don't know if it's because I've got good eyesight or whatever, or if we're in tuned. But the fact of the matter is, you can do this, and it's a simple test by just looking forward and using this system, like the clock system. And if you see anything, just say when it happens, and, you know, you can test how good your either eyesight is or how in tune you are, if you see what I mean. So it could be something to do with his eyesight, but there's something that this is it, yeah.
Did you see that? That was like a one frame flash. Ooh.
Yeah.
I've seen this before in other footage where something appears for just one frame. Oops. I might have to slow the video down in order to get that one frame to show up again. Oh, I already have it slowed down. That's probably why.
So as you can see, you know, it's a case of I'm going out and I'm filming quite an array of different objects, crafts, you know, sort of like, what is it? You know, I mean, we've had nobody come forward and be able to tell us exactly what these are. One thing that I sort of like was thinking about is that, are these some kind of like systems that are like some kind of how can I put it, like something that goes to you, into you, if you know what I mean.
Almost like where it almost takes over your physical body, you mean?
Well, yeah, it's like some kind of like signal. Is it some kind of signal that goes to people? that's been abducted. Because, it's like you never see them on the floor dead or anything. You know what I mean? Like you find birds that have fallen out of the sky and stuff. And you find insects and bees and wasps that are dead. But nobody's ever found any of these things. But then again, I know that some of the researchers say that some of them can be up to 30 foot long. So, I mean, and traveling at sort of like 1,000 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like, so.
Do you think there's any type of spiritual connection where some people are, the more spiritual people might be able to see more than someone that might not have such an open mind?
I think when you start seeing these things, you become spiritual. If you're not in the first place, I would say that you become very spiritual, because you know that there's something a little bit more going on than the norm, whatever you want to call it. We're not here by chance. We're not here by chance. But the problem is, if you look at, spiritual or religious, if you look at religious texts, no matter where from, you'll always see that there's been this great flood. And the problem is with this great flood that God wants us dead. End of story. And I remember getting the cane because I asked the teacher at religious education, I said, so what are you saying, miss? The God wants us to die. And we're told, go see the headmaster, you're going to get the cane. What for? Asking a simple question. And the truth of the matter is, when I asked the headmaster, well, you'll have to speak to my dad then, because my dad will want to know why I've had the cane. I asked a question. The question is, does God want us dead? If he wants to kill everybody on the planet, women and children, apart from Noah and his family and these animals, does that mean he didn't want anybody, humans, to live?
That's a very good question, especially when you're a kid. You're hearing these stories and you're like, well, you're putting two and two together. It's like, well, that sounds like,
if you can't ask questions.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Why tell us about this? Do we just sit down and go, oh yeah, well, what does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not supposed to know what it means. Well, why tell us?
Exactly.
Well, I think it's actually a brilliant question from a young person, because I mean that is what is inevitable, right?
Yeah. Well, from somebody that was there and asked the question, it was quite a frightening question to ask. It was quite a frightening question to ask. Like, does that mean, God wants us dead? And, when you think about it, I'm thinking, and I remember for a long time, I couldn't get to sleep at night thinking, like, wow, you sing to God and what have you and praise him and everything. He's give us life, but he wants us dead. Imagine what you feel like as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And as you get older, it gets worse, because as you're getting closer to the box, you start thinking, bloody hell.
Closer to the box. I like that.
You're going to get your way now, aren't you? Anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're going to get the answers one way or the other.
Yeah. Not that I want to know just too soon.
That's right. Yeah, we still have plenty of time to do some more investigating.
Well, yeah.
Hey, with when you're doing your investigations, what's one of the most well-known cases that you've worked on?
Well, we had a landing in a place called Wales, which is in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote a book about it called Alien Invasion Wales. And just bear with me. Oh. That's it. And
oh, cool.
So that is more or less the area where the craft landed. That's what it looked like, more or less.
Berwyn Mountains.
And those are the the aliens that were at the side of the road. And it's an unbelievable case. Unbelievable case. But it's one of many that I've researched. And to be quite honest, I've been asked to write this other book because you were asking about the metal. Now, that metal was found from that actual that crash landing. That's where that metal came from.
This metal here, it's a
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
melted UFO fragment.
Yeah. So that's from the
that's
Berwyn
interesting.
Mountains.
Wow, is that still, you still, maybe I shouldn't ask this live on YouTube, but is that something that's still in your possession or potentially still in your possession?
Yeah. Now, the thing is, what we've got now, because I've been given these maps of not only that area, but other areas where there was a battle that took place originally out to sea. There was depth charging these craft undersea, and basically these flying saucers came out and attacked the ships, and the ships retaliated. There were fighter jets that went after them, and they brought what could only be described as a group of UFOs. They brought a group of UFOs down that night. Now, also, we was told that a week later there was another engagement, and they brought another a number of UFOs, flying saucers, down, and there's even more metal at this other location. So I'm supposed to be in the next 4 weeks going back with metal detectors and doing a above ground search with one of the other investigators, Lynn Murphy. She's going over with us. So, you know, we're supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be actually filming all this.
Oh, cool.
But I've just made 2 documentaries over the past 6 weeks. So this is something else, but I don't know whether the production company, you know, sort of like happy about doing all this, but we'll just have to see.
Well, if they're not, we can hook you up with someone that is, he's very good at doing. Actually, we know a couple people that can produce that kind of stuff. So if you ever need, if you have any trouble with anyone not wanting to work with you with that kind of stuff, just let us know.
Well, I've got, let's put it this way, I've got one of the oldest archives from 1950, and footage like what we've taken, what I've taken, like I said, dogfights in the sky, flying triangles coming out at sea. Anything can be looked at and scrutinized by anybody that want. You know what I mean? Take tapes away. If you can find any problems, you let us know. You know what I mean? We've also got photographic evidence from 1952, 1970s, 1950. You know, sort of like not many pictures, you know, photographs, but I've got one of the oldest archives.
Well, that would be an awesome documentary then. You said that you have been working on that, but the production company is giving you issues?
Well, to be honest, you know, it's like I get a lot of production companies. It's like the last one turn around and says, we're wanting to go make this documentary, and it's down in Wiltshire. And I'm saying, but what do I want to go down to Wiltshire for? It's like me and Lynn, we spent 3 nights filming things that, you know, people have said, oh, it could be satellites. North Yorkshire UFOs on me YouTube. If you have a look, there's these things and they're moving, and then all of a sudden they just veer off. So that they're not your normal, you know, like satellites. And I mean, I've been filming these close, and you can see on one of them in particular, it looks like a golf ball. You know,
this one that I just pulled up here is called Lynn Murphy's video footage.
Yeah, well, this is something a bit strange because it were like rockets going vertical up on a number of occasions. That's what Lynn filmed. It's before that, actually. It's
what in the world? That is very strange. It's just looks like a vertical cloud, but it looks like somebody just drew it with a marker.
Yeah.
Or
and they were just
very
going, they seem to be going up from the Irish Sea again, straight up vertical, and not coming overhead, you know. I think it's the one before where we were out for 3 nights and we were filming these quite big balls of light coming across, and they were actually flashing at us. And Lynn's saying, make contact with us, flash. And all of a sudden, bang, this thing flashes like a flashlight at us. And there's no mistaking it. It's like, that was the moon, and it was red that night. I just did a quick shot of that. But this is it, yeah.
Oh man, see, we've got friends that get this kind of footage all the time. This is definitely something that people are definitely seeing a lot, especially now.
That's just a little bit. It's when it gets big and it's nearly as the size of the actual that's it, yeah.
Ooh. Wow. And then so they actually do react with you too, as if you ask it to flash or something, it reacts with
Lynn's there shouting, you know, like flash and all this lot, and all of a sudden something else turns up. You can hear it, you know, because everything's there, the sound's there, you can hear it. Going on.
Yeah, I had the audio muted just so we could talk, but I can turn it up a little bit here.
Keep going, doing the right thing.
I'm not taking my eye off this.
He's telling me something else has turned up, and I'm saying I'm not taking my eye off this.
Come back over here.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Flash to us.
That's not echoing, is it?
No, it sounds fine.
And flash.
I've got this full zone. There's just a bit of light in the fairness now. There's a bit of light from somewhere.
And I'm using this camera. This is the camera I was using, a Sony Handycam, and it's got 2 times magnification. Added lens.
We're coming out for this, wasn't
I
it?
think, I just bought myself.
And Russ, is that with night vision mode?
No, I'm trying to think. I think it was, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But sometimes, you know, they're so bright that you don't even need to use night vision.
Which is Filey Bay, and that's just looking a bit over to.
Man, we need to get Russ hooked up with a Psionics night vision camera somehow. Need to. Are you familiar with a Psionics camera?
We've got the Handycams like this, Sony, with SD cards, but they're only good for daytime footage, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like
these Russ, these other dots that are going past the main one in the middle of the screen, are you also seeing those while you're filming, or is that something that showed up just
they're stars.
Okay.
Those are stars in background. It's that thing, right? Yeah, has put its foot down and it is flying now.
Oh, okay.
That is flying past all the stars.
Okay. So it was once stationary and now it's moving.
Yeah.
Oh, I like. Man. Yeah, that's very interesting. It's hard to get something in the sky like that to stop, hover, and then move again without any noise or anything like that.
There's so many things. There's quite a lot of stuff I haven't put up yet. There's the flying triangles. I haven't put those up yet. There's 2 balls of light that are traveling together with a reddish tint and a green tint, and it looks for all you know, like obviously, when you're looking at it, you say it must be navigation lights of an aircraft. But yeah, it's flying, and you can see the stars in between the gap of the red and the green light. How does that work? That means there's nothing there. There's no fuselage. There's no tail. There's no wings, and it goes overhead, and we're filming it, and it's not making a noise. You know,
speaking of making noises, I heard all the animals in the background too. Do you ever notice that the animals react with stuff in the sky too, where they might get a little louder when you start seeing things?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's definitely something that we've heard of before too.
You know, you can, and you get, you know, that's birds and seagulls, but you get that a lot around here anyway. They'll make that noise. But sometimes you'll get cows and sheep that'll go wild. You know, you can hear them. And when that happens, you get worried because you're thinking, you know, you've heard of cattle mutilations and sheep mutilations, you know. So it's something that I don't like even thinking about.
There's always been this weird connection with cows. You know, I've even heard one of Ryan Bledsoe's first experiences was, I hope I'm not getting this wrong, I believe it was him and his dad were sitting outside talking at nighttime, and they don't have any cows around them. You know, I believe they have a cow farm way away from them, but not anywhere near where they live. But they're just sitting outside talking, and I believe they said that they just started hearing cows, like it was right next to them. There's just always been this strange cow connection. Yeah.
No, seriously, that's happened. I remember a good, it must be about 15 years ago, and somebody was saying that they saw nothing more than a cow being transported in the sky, and they just could not believe it. Just seen this thing that had been like a beam on it, and it had been transported and put down. I think it was in the Sun newspaper.
That's crazy. Yeah, if I saw a cow in the sky, I'd probably have to go back to sleep. see if I'm dreaming or what's going on. That's very interesting. Yeah, it's strange how there's a cow connection. I wish I knew. There's just so many questions I wish I knew the answers to. So that's one of them.
Hemoglobin in it. This man-made blood and what have you. You know, it's like in cows and sort of like, you know, are they trying to make blood from cows and what have you, you know, take their blood and mess about with it. And of course, there was that terrible news about the bovine, you know, strain, you know, that this virus as well, you know, mad cow disease. And if you remember, it came about the time when there were a lot of crop circles and there were a lot of cattle mutilations, you know, and a lot of UFO reports.
Yeah.
But it was something I kept away from, you know, because it's bad enough. You know, I don't like to think of poor creatures being in pain and what have you, you know.
No, because they're all, you know, they're innocent as far as I'm concerned. You know, you're looking at animals' eyes and it's just like, you know, we're messing up their environment. They're the innocent ones in the whole situation.
Well, it's a bit like us, you know. It's like what I'm trying to put to people is, you know, there's people being abducted. Now, whether people believe it or not, you know, remains to be seen. And like I said before, you know, either I'm telling the truth or I'm lying. Now, the thing is, what am I lying for? What, you know, anybody could lie, I suppose. But it's a case of this, you know, I've had this. If it hasn't happened to me, but I remember this, that means that something has put that in my mind so that I think I've been abducted and all this has happened to me. I don't know which is the most scary. Either I have been and I remember, or I haven't been, and something or someone has put this in my mind that I remember that hasn't happened, but I think it has. I don't know which is the scariest scenario.
Right, because even if it was planted in your mind, what would be the reason for that to happen? And who would be doing that? It's scary.
No, it seriously is. I mean, it is scary, full stop. And I mean, one of the things I want to really, I mean, like, this is, my life has changed so much. You know, I mean, I used to get out a lot, and, you know, I had my bike, my chopper, and what have you, and I went out all the time. I would at work, and then I'd come home, and then I'd be out on my motorbike, you know, and sort of like all this has just destroyed everything what I'd done. So I spent 30 years looking for answers. Nobody should have to spend 30 years looking for answers to something that's happened to them. If there's somebody out there who's, you know, allowed this to happen or has done this, nobody should be doing this to anybody, nobody's son or daughter, because it's happening to males and females all around the world. And the thing is, it has to stop. You know, I mean, talking about this secret space program, it seems that, I mean, I get people all the time. Have you been in the army? No. Oh, well, you can't be in the secret space program if you're not a soldier. Oh, okay,
my God.
You know what I mean? It's like, you get these people, they've never had anything happen, but they seem to know more about what's going on than me. Now, it's like, there's two scenarios here, and that is either the military are involved or they're not. Well, yeah, they are involved, because I know people, Tony Rodriguez, he won military, and I know that he's involved, and I trust that guy, you know what I mean, a nice chap. Now, I'm not, so that means that there's another aspect that says that not everybody is in the military then, you know, that have, you know, been recruited and what have you. So that means that there must be two different space programs. There must be one which maybe not only America, but other armies around the world that are part of this. And there's other people that are not in armies that have been put in these armies to fight alongside the aliens as well, but they're not military. So that means that there's two aspects there. That means there must be two different kinds of space program. There might even be more than two. There might be more. There might be 3 or 4 different space programs.
Yeah, I mean, when they say the universe is infinite, that just means that there's got to be an infinite amount of life out there. So I was going to ask you that question earlier. You know, these crafts that people are seeing in the sky, you know, some of them look like dolphins, some of them look like just balls of light.
Yeah.
Do you think they're all the same thing, or do you think that they're different species or different types of...
Oh, no, different races and different
races,
different craft. And some of it's like one of the crafts, which is a ball like, actually can elongate and become what is known now as a tic tac, or what my dad's brothers and everybody saw, torpedoes or a cigar shaped object. Right, yeah. Now they can, like I say, they can be as small as a baseball, and they can go to the size of what do you call it? An aircraft carrier. You know, they can be so small, but the next minute they can just grow and be just so large. You know, and they can take all sorts inside those craft. They can transport people. They can transport anything. You know, weapons, you name it. I've seen them transport what you call, you know, big cannons, laser cannons and stuff. You know, sort of like. So then we've got the motherships, and then we've got the flying saucers, the smaller flying saucers, the flying triangles. Now, people are saying that they're mostly military. But the thing is, I know that it has been said, and I've seen like this dragon race in these like flying triangles also.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's so many different races of aliens and different craft, you know.
So when people say, you know, one of our other co-hosts, Sonny Conway from California, he has seen a triangle fly over his house, and he said it looked just like a bomber, like one of the stealth bombers, but it was completely silent and very slow and just kind of slowly hovered. And he said that when he looked on the bottom of it, it looked just like a metal craft where you could almost see the seams, rivets and stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that's why so many people think that the triangles are ours, because they're seeing metal and they're seeing a solid object like that.
That's right. That's strange, is that? I mean, I'm just getting ready to do some editing to cut down and to put up something that's like about 45 minutes long to about 20 minutes. And I'm filming at the side of the road and just elevated looking down. And you can see there's 2 lights in the sea, in the bay where I live. And then the next thing, there's like 6 lights. And you can see the side of the road. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, no, it's not boats. It's not fishing boats. And all of a sudden, these things start coming down from the sky towards these 6 lights now. The next thing, these 6 lights grow and get big. And you can see little lights flashing. And I'm thinking, that's 2 triangles. And I'm looking at 2 triangles side by side coming out of the sea. And there's like balls of light coming down towards these. And I'm trying to get the video of the crafts and the balls of light coming down. And sort of like not being very stable. But you can see there's 2 flying triangles that take off and they head down towards about 10 miles away, down south. So it's like, what are 2 flying triangles doing coming out of the bay where I live, right next to the road?
God, that's another thing that we've heard of.
This is videoed.
Right. Yeah, the submergible objects is another thing that's been coming up lately. It's the objects that just come right out of the water and don't make they don't disrupt the water at all.
No.
USOs.
Well, these didn't.
USOs, yes.
That's right, yeah. So, I mean, it all caught on video. You know, anybody wants to have a look at them, take the footage away, have a look at it. I've got nothing to hide.
Yeah. That's the thing is, everybody just like you, I mean, there's no reason to come up with these. People have so many things to do in their life. I mean, we're busy people. You know, we've got our own lives to worry about and our families.
Because nobody we want to be famous. We want attention. That's what they say, right?
That's what they say, right? Yeah. I mean, nobody's making millions and millions off of showing some lights in the sky.
Some people are making millions.
That's true. I guess that is true, you know.
And it's the ones in the government talking about it that are not telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, you've got these production companies, and all they do is listen to G-men all the time. Now, you know, it's like my old man used to say, if you believe what a politician says, you're a bigger fool than, you know. So it's like these are the people that keep on coming up with all these, you know, like suggestions, what they are. And then the next thing they're changing their mind. They're telling you one thing, and then the next thing they've changed their mind, it's something else. So, and you're not going to get any answers from them.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's why I say, you know, how about we try to focus on experiencers in their stories and their encounters, and let's try to not spend so much time trying to get answers out of the government, because it just seems like it's just not going to happen. You know, I mean, if you really want true evidence, you got to talk to the experiencers that have actually seen and experienced these things.
That's right. We're having this like Skywatch, and it's called calling occupants of interplanetary craft.
Oh, that's coming up. That's something that's coming up.
Yeah, and anybody can get involved.
Okay.
We're going to be doing it, and disabled people can. Anybody can. You can do it in your own garden. You can do it, sort of like from your own. If you've got a flat and you haven't got a garden, out of your window, And all you got to do, basically, is just spend, an hour or two and looking. And if you've got a camera or, a phone, you can get some good phones now. And it's about taking part. And you don't have to get the evidence, but you can take part. And it's about getting people together and saying, look, sort of like we can all do this,
Yeah, and is that a specific day that you're doing that?
Well, we're just getting together with anybody that wants to take part.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like in the next sort of like month.
Okay.
Hopefully. So we're going to put it out on Facebook. And does anybody want to, join us and what have you? Because
Sure.
originally, I think it was the group, what do you call it, Bender from America, with the International Flying Saucer Bureau, and I think Carpenters did a song called "Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft" as well. You see, and that was from, like I say, Mr. Bender, who had set up this group, and were looking at UFOs and putting out newsletters and giving information. And he had the first Men in Black incident when they came into his room and told him that, like it wasn't a good thing what he were doing, So, I mean, that goes back now, that was 1950s.
Chad, did we ever ask Helen's crystal energy question about, she was asking earlier if Russ knew of a support group in southern UK.
Oh, I didn't see that. Glad that you saw that, man.
It was earlier. I couldn't remember if we had touched on it or not. Russ, do you know about any support groups for experiencers in South UK?
No, to be honest, it's something I don't get involved with because, how can I put it? It's one of these things where you get involved with groups and you get things happening in groups, and there's always some people want to run things, and it's like I just keep away from that kind of thing.
Understand?
You know what I mean? Because it's like people telling people what the truth is, and this is me. This is my truth. What I know to be right. What's happened to me, and what can we do? And sometimes getting together with like-minded people is not a good thing. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, for someone listening that might have these experiences and have never told anyone, and they've held the stuff in their whole life, and maybe it's something that's really, really bothering them. What's your advice for someone like that? Where would somebody like that go where they can trust that this isn't going to get ridiculed and that they can share their experiences with someone? Is there anywhere like that someone could go to?
Hashtag UFO Twitter.
Oh, geez, stay away from that.
Sorry about that.
Tell everybody out there about what's happened. Yeah, you see, it's one of these things where, like I say, I get people contacting me all the time. 2 days ago, we had a sighting in North Wales of a yellow diamond at a place called Llangollen, which is about 150 miles from here. And the guy, wanted to let people know what he'd seen. It was so mesmerized by. He said, I had my mobile phone, I could have taken the shot. He said, but I was so mesmerized what I was looking at, I couldn't believe it. So, we get people calling us and getting in touch about UFO reports and what have you. And we do get people, sometimes I get some late night calls because my number's out there, on the internet.
Oh, I bet that's
on my
interesting.
website. And you can get some very disturbing calls late on. Very disturbing calls from people.
Oh man, of things that they've seen.
Well, and what's happened to them?
Mm-hmm. Right.
All I would say is that sometimes, I don't think all the people that have contacted me are actually genuine. Which is there again is another scenario, which is like there's some people out there that probably do need help.
Oh yeah.
And it's sad because really, really do need help. Because some of the things what they say and sort of like is a bit frightening. A little bit frightening that something's happening to people, and then you get the ones that are ringing up and that are just making mischief. And I don't know which is the worst, because for somebody to ring up and to tell a story, making up a story about being abducted and what have you, to me, is not my idea of somebody who's playing with a full deck of cards. It's bad enough that this sort of thing happens to people. It's bad enough it happens to people. But when somebody, contacts and are making stuff up, then it's an all new ball game. You know what I mean? Because this is one of the things, I've been doing this now for nearly 30 years and I've seen and heard all sorts of things. And, it's not good sometimes.
No, that's completely understandable.
I don't think it does your psyche any good.
No, and I can only imagine living with this your whole life. You feel helpless because you don't have any of the answers and you don't know where to go for the answers. And then when you try to find the answers, you get ridiculed and yeah, it's got to be very frustrating. But Russ, what things do you have coming up? Because I know that you've done. Oh, we have a little bit of a delay there. Sorry about that. But yeah, what types of things do you have coming up? Because I know that you have been on TV and you've done some TV episodes and some other interviews like that. So do you have anything like that coming up that we could look out for?
Yeah, well, there's a documentary about me going out filming all this stuff coming out. I can't tell when it is at the moment because we're just waiting for a slot. And the second one again is about me filming and about what happened to me, sort of like called E.T. Rider, about being abducted. But also, like I say, we've got things what we're wanting to get out there and get people involved with, like this make contact, calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Where anybody could take part if they want to, take a couple of hours and go out and film or just have a sky watch and see if anything turns up. Just to get people involved. Anybody can. Oh, that's my book, E.T. Rider, yeah.
Yeah, I pulled this up. This is on Amazon, and I also put the link in the chat for anybody interested.
Chad, you are amazing.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
So
I'm trying to get better.
That tells you about the battles what took place. Pardon? Sorry?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Russ. We have a little bit of a delay in the audio, but Spooky was just saying that I did a good job pulling that up. Appreciate that, Spooky.
Yeah, thank you. Very good was that.
I also just dropped Russ's YouTube channel.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks for that. if anybody wants to get in touch with me, they can do. I've got a website which is BritishUFOHunter.com. And if anybody wants any help, or they can just there's a contact page. I've just put a contact page up now because there's things that I'm going through with this process of changing things. I'd put a lot of information up and UFO reports and what have you. And there's that many people doing it now that, it's a bit obsolete, if you know what I mean. So if anybody wants any help, if they want to chat to anybody, if they go on there and they can leave us an email address, or there's my mobile telephone number if anybody wants to talk to me about being abducted. All I can really say is, don't worry, it's happened to me for 30 years and other people that I know, and you're still alive, you're still around. Don't worry about it. It's something that happens sometimes to people, and not to get too worried about it.
Oh, I think that's great advice, man. That's great. Yeah, because a lot of people just don't know where to turn and what's going to happen the next day. So that's I appreciate you saying that. And I also put that link in the chat. Also, the BritishUFOHunter.com. That gives his contact information, email, and phone number.
Yeah, cheers. Well, like I say, you just got to do the best you can to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
Because, nobody's going to tell you exactly what's happening. I mean, I've had this happen to me, and I ain't going to lie to anybody. I'm as much in the dark as anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing, is we don't know, and nobody does. So anyone calling themselves an expert doesn't know everything. So just keep an open mind, and if you guys have any questions, or if you'd like to reach out to him, please check out his website, BritishUFOHunter.com. And also the other links that we have in the description below with his YouTube channel, and also the Amazon link to the T-Rider.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for being with us, Russ. And I'm sure that we're going to have you back on eventually, because this topic never ends.
No, well, we're out, like I say, we're out again filming. And we've got this, like I say, this big Skywatch we're trying to get sorted out. Anybody, if you want to take part, just drop us a line after this and what have you, and I'll keep you informed. And if you want to, we're trying to get it so that we can go out and do this live as well.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, everybody at the same time.
Yeah. So if you want to take part, it'd be fantastic.
And then I also put his Facebook link down there too. So yeah, if you're interested in doing that Skywatch, which that sounds like a great time, we're going to have to get involved with that. Go to his Facebook page there and let him know that you're interested.
I think Russ would get along well with Anthony.
I think so too. Yep. Yeah. Unidentified S4, if you have heard of his channel before, I'm sure that you'll be contacted by him, because he's probably very interested in talking with you. He gets a lot of the same footage. He uses some different types of cameras, psionics, night vision cameras, and he gets a lot of footage almost on a nightly basis.
Psionics? What's the difference between normal night vision and psionics?
This is using, I believe it's using infrared sensors. So instead of a normal image sensor where it just picks up visual light, this is picking up infrared light.
Right.
Let me see.
Because I know there's somebody having a go now with this the, what do you call it, the black light, the ultraviolet. Have you seen some of the stuff from ultraviolet?
It's almost, I wonder if that is kind of the same thing that we're talking about, because he gets footage where it is completely dark out, but the sky looks like it's daylight, and you can clearly see. I'm trying to pull up a video that he recently
Russ,
uploaded.
I wanted to let you know, Russ, that I dropped our buddy that we're talking about. I put his link to his YouTube channel in the private chat here on the StreamYard link. Right. For if you want to check him out later.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thanks for
thank
doing
you.
that. I'm trying to find.
Can you imagine the conversation between Russ, Anthony, and Krista? That'd be cool.
That would be great. Yeah, I'm always. Sometimes I'm good at pulling stuff up right on the fly, and sometimes I cannot find.
I'm going to have a look for that.
Yeah, definitely check out that link we dropped there in the private chat, because I'm sure he'd be interested in speaking with you.
Definitely. That's fantastic. Thank you.
I'm going to give him Crystal's as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Anthony, I know you're listening. Let's get Russ, you, and Christo together. That would be an awesome episode. So thanks, Russ. This has been a very awesome conversation, and we're definitely going to have to speak with you again, and we'll stay in contact.
Thank you, Chad and Spooky, and nice to be on your show. And take care. And yeah, anytime you want us, just give us a call.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you so much, brother.
Okay, God bless.
God bless. Have a good one.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Whoa!
Spooky, we say this every time, but how do we keep getting these awesome guests? Cassie, you're the best. Cassie, you're awesome.
Nothing happens by coincidence, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no more coincidences. That's for sure. Yeah, he says, I would love that conversation. I would too. I want that to be today's episode. Let's make that happen. That's going to be an awesome one. I sent the UFO I got the other night in Messenger. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to bring... That's the one I wanted to bring up, and for some reason I was just... Oh, Russ already messaged. Thanks for a great show. Thank you so much, Russ. You were awesome. Let's see. Yeah, you never know what kind of guest you're going to have. You just never know until you meet them. And so far, we've done a lot of these interviews. Just like the first time we talk to them is when we bring up the chat, or when we bring up the podcast. So you just never know what you're going to get. And we're relying on Cassie. And thank you so much, Cassie, for getting these guests for us. I mean, we're having awesome conversations. Okay, I finally have the video pulled up. Let's see. 20 more clicks and we'll get there. Oh, you got to have the audio turned on for this because Anthony's awesome. Here we go.
Look at that. What did I tell you? What? Look at that. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Now, anything moving through our atmosphere at that speed as a physical object would make crazy sonic booms or some type of noise. You would hear something.
Look at that.
That thing.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
That thing was hauling. Whatever that is. So yeah, that was awesome, man. I love having those conversations. Let's bring in some music and get the day started here. Get the after show started. Hopefully Eric is... Oh yeah, I see Eric right there in the chat. Eric, what are you up to? You want to come up and hang out for a minute? Ron, great to see you in the chat. Cosmic Neighbors. Let's see.
Cosmic Neighbors. He's going to be on Butt Stuff, y'all. 2 p.m. Pacific. You don't want to miss that.
Oh, I don't want to miss... No, you don't want to miss that. 2 Pacific?
I can't wait to see the intro video.
Here, let's get a little UFO garage going on here. He sent me that, and now I can't stop playing it. I listen to it even when I'm by myself in here. And I added a fart.
Hey!
A fart button. So I can add to it. Yeah, butt stuff with Bree and Jamie today with Ron as a guest. That's going to be awesome.
Do you know if our boys are on tonight?
Oh, God, I should know that, shouldn't I?
Oh boy, we got a little gremlin. We got a gremlin. Oh Lord,
I was wondering. You're not the one pushing those buttons.
Check this out. Ah, hell!
We got somebody backstage that has that has the keys to the StreamYard.
T-shirt. God, it's starting to make me nervous. What other pictures of me does she have?
Well, hopefully she doesn't upload anything else that we haven't already approved.
Holy mackerel.
Oh, Lord. She's just playing all kinds of stuff. Or he.
Push those buttons. Push those buttons.
Jeez, Jamie. Good Lord. Yeah. We needed that channel disclaimer for a few of those things you pulled up.
Hey, man, when we gotta get that ET t-shirt, man?
The ET t-shirt.
Yeah, of us playing ET.
Yeah, Jamie, do you have that on a shirt yet? Because I'm sure that he would break out his credit card as soon as you...
Oh, I would have already ordered it. I've been looking at the store waiting for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one here.
Cannot get enough of that one, dude.
Oh, man. We need this one on a shirt, too. And people are being like, who is that?
Yeah, you wear that to a restaurant or to the store?
Hi, I wore this one, so I want my meal for free. Yeah, Jamie, put that on. Yeah, we are under attack. Isn't that crazy? Butt stuff came in here and we're under attack. Ma! No, the cops need a warrant to shut Chad and Spooky down, Ma. Yeah, the only way we get shut down is if you have a warrant. Man. Yeah, some of the people that are on here with us don't know a lot of our overlays because we only play them on Chop Shop. But got some cool overlays in here like this one. That one came in I believe that was the last Chop Shop show.
Are you referring to the Paranormal Chop Shop that's on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific right here on YouTube?
Yeah, the one that used to be on at midnight Eastern, but now it's on at 10 Eastern.
That channel has been all around the clock, to be honest.
It really has.
And what time do we like best so far? Are we thinking we like the 7 p.m. PT?
Yeah, I don't really have to do any of the hard work. I just come right in. When I get out of work, I come in and I get to do the fun part of the show.
The question is, when am I going to get Big Willie as a co-host? I'm waiting and waiting and waiting.
I've been wondering the same thing. He's been super busy. I don't think it's getting any better. It sounds like he's moving this month.
Chad, Big Willie, we're all busy. But are we busy? Are we too busy for the Chop Shop?
Do we have... Are we able to share the news that Joe has shared with us privately?
What news would that be?
See, I don't know. I don't know. Are we allowed to say anything?
I'm a little uncertain.
Well, we can say that Joe is definitely going through some awesome positive changes. Oh, what was that?
Joe?
Yeah, Joe from UFO Garage. He's oh geez. You're not the one doing that? Is Jamie pulling up?
Sorry about that.
Oh, now we got the Alien Girl logo up there.
There's stuff happening all over the place, man.
Jeez.
There's a lot of plans in the works.
A lot of plans in the works. A lot of odd plans. Odd house plans. You gotta pull up our sponsor too. Boom. Sponsored by W Energy. Go to
Who doesn't need energy?
You know, I've been using it at work. Instead of my normal energy drinks that have way too much caffeine in them, I've been using the W Energy instead.
And?
I really like it. They claim, you know how people claim to have certain ingredients that are different than anybody else. But this one does have something called neurofactor in it, which I don't know what that's supposed to do, but it has something to do with neuro, you know, your brain and thinking. And I do feel like I'm a little bit more alert and aware at work, and, you know, I'm thinking better. So I don't know. Maybe it's just in my head, but stuff is pretty good.
Did you get a tubby?
Yeah, I did. I got myself a tubby of Dubby. I got the Dragonade. It's dragon fruit lemonade. It's pretty good.
And if you got the linky.
Oh yeah, w.gg. www.w.gg. And you can use promo code Chad Smith, all one word, to get 10% off each purchase, every purchase. I would definitely recommend getting one of the mixer bottles because whatever container you put that stuff in, it's going to smell and taste like that for a long time. It's very potent. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting one of their mixer bottles. Yeah, if you guys are...
Pasky.
Pasky?
Yeah, I saw Pasky.
Oh, geez. Get yourself... maybe that was a... Is that a typo, Pasky? A tuggy? Get yourself a tuggy, too? I think he meant to say a tubby.
Yeah. Little typo there.
She says, what's the secret? Don't pivot. Oh, spill the tea, boys. What's the secret? Yeah. Let's just say that Joe is changing a lot of things in his life around, and he's also coming up to visit us.
What? Joe from Texas is going to go all the way up to Michigan?
Yep, he told me and Big Willie yesterday that he's going to come up here and see us.
That's no short trek.
And come up here and hang out. Nope, it's not a short trek. And
I mean, just to get through Texas is like 4 hours.
That's the way I hear he's going to be doing it. He's going to be not in a plane. This is going to be driving over the road.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can say any more. But we can say that he's going to be traveling over the road to Michigan soon to visit
don't be
us.
a blabbermouth.
Okay. All right. I'm trying not to spill too much here.
Don't be so odd in this house.
Jeez, I see what you did there. Very odd.
What I did there? Whoa! Bam!
Bam! Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh, Rodney's gonna fly down and ride up with him.
Ooh.
Can drop by Akashi Chris's place on the way there.
Hey Chad, do you know if the boys are still doing that that weekend getaway this fall?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I just wonder if any of these
Recently.
newest if these updates are going to change any plans for the future. I just don't know.
You know what? Maybe we need to have Ben and Joe on the show.
You think?
How come that hasn't happened? Well, I know that why that hasn't happened. Those guys are so damn busy. But maybe this change will open Joe up to some more time that he's able to spend with us.
Yeah. We definitely
just
need to
message
have
him. Can you come on the show?
On the show.
Joe, are you busy, man? Can you come on and spill your information?
If you don't know who we're talking about, we're talking about the UFO Garage, where you can find premium, cool merchandise like the t-shirt right here. UFO Garage podcast on YouTube. Check it out.
Make sure you spend a bunch of money over there. I haven't been on their website in a minute, but this is awesome looking. Check that out. A podcast about
smiles.
UFOs, aliens, and all things weird.
Oh, I can't stand all that handsomeness. Good Lord.
I didn't know Joe had matching tattoos on both arms. That's cool. Their latest episode was with Mr. Jim Goodall, expert on everything that flies in the sky. Man, look at this. This is a retro looking shirt right here.
That's hot.
That is. Bam. Let's go to their... Oh, right here. Look at that. You're invited. The UFO Garage Family Reunion 2022. November 4th through the 6th.
Very nice.
Still going. And we have the Experiencer documentary coming up soon. The Eric Mitchell story. Who Tupacabra is actually editing for them. So Cannot wait to see that.
Chupacabra.
Yeah, who's that?
We know him.
Man, I like this feature. Be a guest, and you can fill out a form. Interested in being a guest on the show? Tell us a little bit about yourself. All are welcome. Man, we might need a website. How come we don't have a website?
Hello.
Jeez. Get with it, Chad. Jeez. Where's the Jim Goodall shirt? Is that still in here? All products.
UFO Garage merch. Boom.
There it is.
Yeah.
What? The SR-71 Blackbird, James Goodall, the Interceptor. I gotta buy that.
Oh my goodness.
Runs bigger than usual. I like that. Tearaway label, premium fit, 100% combed, ring sprung cotton. Yeah, and these designs are all... Oh, I was going to say all these designs are from Ben, but this design's not from Ben. This is a sweatshirt by Chupacabra.
Oh,
Awesome
I like
art.
that color too.
Oh, it says
I should've
Ego
got it.
Death.
I should have got that one.
Man, what kind of colors are we talking here?
I got the blue one because I'm like addicted to blue.
Understandable.
Oh,
That's sweet.
that's mine's. He liked it
Man.
when he saw me wearing it.
I don't want to even think about wearing anything with long sleeves right now. I can't believe how hot it's going to get next week.
That's why you just got to put up the air conditioner. Sorry, environment.
Well, we got an air conditioner at the apartment, but not at work.
Sorry, planet.
Then you got this classic right here, the J. Allen Hynek t-shirt.
And Chupacabra just made all these and more available on print. You can order these.
He did.
Yeah, you can hang that on your wall, dude. And he just did a new one with Dorothy Izod.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I want to check that out.
Man, do
Look
I have
at
to do
Gary.
everything around here?
Look at Gary wearing the t-shirt. I don't know if I'm in there or not. Oh yeah. They also have the old classic. They don't just have t-shirts and hoodies. They also have pillows. UFO Garage pillow, and then you flip it over.
Bam!
Bam! It's a UFO, right?
Sure.
I mean, that's what it looks like to me. UFO beaming down to the podcast. Get yours at UFOGaragePodcast.com/store.
That is a naughty, naughty pillow.
Damn. Oh, here we go. Here's some Chupacabra stuff. Let me pull that up. Oh, it's the Dorothy Izod one.
Isn't that sweet? UFO Garage.
Oh, Darth Vader, Yoda. He says, honored and blessed to have my art featured at D.W. Pasalka's class today. The high water mark of my artistic career. Man, Chupacabra said some nice things about us too on Twitter. I appreciate that. That guy's awesome. Got to get
The
him.
family
booked
is
again.
growing.
Yeah. We're starting to know people. People are starting to talk to us. It's nuts. Rodney says, I might have a secret air-conditioned room at Dex Tech. Ooh. See, at midnights, we probably could just go in there and hang out all night. But now that I'm on afternoons and we've got administration walking around, it's kind of hard to just hang out in the office all day. But Posky gets away with more than I get away with. Let me, I like having music on when there's no guest here. Chilling with some music. Jeanette Sanchez, thanks so much for being with us today. Got Grandmaster in the chat. Kashi Chris, thanks always for hanging out with us. My flock is everywhere. What's up, Sarah? I don't think Sarah sleeps either. She was online late last night, and then she was online again this morning. She's doing a lot of streaming on YouTube. Who else we got in here? Then Lizzie Borden. How's it going, Bree? Great to see you. I think Eric's busy. Eric normally jumps on here with us. Must be busy today.
Making those cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, today on Paranormal Highway, the main topic, I believe, is going to be vampires.
Mm-hmm. And they're on later tonight, I think. Did he say 10 Pacific?
Oh.
I could have swore he said 10 Pacific. That's late.
Like Ben and Joe say, I'll be deep in memes.
Oh, yeah?
I gotta go memes.
I gotta go memes. Oh, man. I don't want to go to work today, Spooky.
Don't go to work. Call in. Let's just hang out and like watch TV together. We can do it online. StreamYard.
Yeah. I'd have to get enough donations to make it worth it. So if you guys want me to hang out, I'll stay on all day long if you donate.
Oh, we got a guest.
Eric, what's up, dude? Oh, let me turn down the music. You're live on location.
I just dropped the link for Paranormal Highway, y'all.
Sorry about that. I was just working on a few projects. And I heard you say, Eric, you should come on here. It's like, I can't ruin that. I got to jump on.
Can't miss that opportunity.
No, hey, that was a great guest. That was awesome listening to that guy.
Yeah, he's amazing. Hey, Eric, what time is your show today, man?
I'm actually, it's 10 a.m., basically in 1 hour.
Whoa.
Oh, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Pacific time. I'm making them all exactly 10 a.m. now. I'm not going to bounce from 10 to 2. I'm going to make it one solid time.
Okay.
I like that. I like that a
It's
lot. And I
easier.
like 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's a lot easier because people get confused, you know. Is it 10 a.m., 2 p.m.? So I'm just going to make them all 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we can't count on YouTube's notifications to work right.
Yeah,
Got
and
that
except
right.
for Wednesday. Wednesday, I always keep that at 8 o'clock at night because, you know, that's usually I bring a guest on, but I had to do some
Paranormal Highway prime
I
time.
couldn't do a show. You know, my daughter likes to spend a night at people's houses and expect me to be like a taxi driver and go pick her up. Like, you know.
Yeah, you do a lot of driving, man. You're like the family driver.
Well, Spooky, let me just tell you this. Yesterday, I went to jump on Anthony's show, but I told him I have to wait 30 minutes because I'm actually in the middle of a DOT physical driving. So,
Oh, we're losing you, Eric. You're losing your Wi-Fi, buddy. What is up with these? What is up with these guests?
Portal. He's going through a vortex of energy.
Yeah, I think he's
like in his cartoons.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Oh, that's what's going on. Yeah, he's going into the next episode.
I think he's trying to psych us out, trying to build up the momentum for the big show.
It's crazy too, because you know this guy has fiber internet. He's got like the best internet in the country.
Mm-hmm. You know what this is? This is sus.
That's a good word for it. Yeah, Eric, sorry you got too far.
Caused it?
Yeah, you got too far from your Wi-Fi signal.
It's weird because I got strong Wi-Fi right outside.
That's strange. You're crystal clear now. As soon as you walk back in.
Yeah, I got full bars. It must have been my dog. My dog.
It's the government, man. Government.
Yeah, you started talking too much. You started spilling too many of the beans, man. Saying too much. Coffee beans.
That's what
I think
it is.
the cartoons are a little too real life.
Well, everybody better hope that the third one is not real life, because if it is real life, we're all in danger.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. See, what I'm doing here is I'm actually walking into.
Thank you, Posky, for that donation to our Buy Me a Coffee. Rodney Posky.
Look at that! I'm actually in my office.
Yes, behind the
Boom.
scenes, yo. Behind the scenes, Paranormal Highway. This is where the magic happens.
This is normally only a members only thing that you get to see.
Mhm.
Yeah. You can see all my
This is a
wonderful
exclusive.
toys.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
toy collection.
Oh, yeah, you can
There's
see
the
all
famous.
my, look at this. My lighting up here, my Mickey Mouse lighting.
No. That
Whatever
is
works, man.
You do what you got to do.
You know?
That's the famous green screen that fell live while I was watching.
Yeah. And look, I mean, people, this is on strong. This ain't tape or nothing.
Bye, Danny. Have a good one, buddy.
You know, it's solid.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it something to do with? Didn't you ask it to do that, or didn't you ask something in the room?
I was asking, because just recently, a few days before that, I was backstage with Amber's Paraworld, and she was telling me that there were some people standing next to me, like
that's
ghosts
right.
and all that. So I thought, I wonder if I could talk to them, and that's when I just decided to ask it questions because of what she saw a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just asked, can you move something for me? So it wasn't necessarily that. I just asked it to move, I got make this move,
Right. Just make something move.
And then nothing moved. And then of course, the only thing that moved, the hardest thing to bring down, it moved this.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I believed it, but
this, could have moved my little R2D2.
look at all these damn toys. I got a toy.
You gotta have toys, man. You gotta have toys, right?
This is like the only toy I have in the apartment. Still in the box.
That's a good one.
And he makes noises, I think. The batteries aren't dead. Yeah.
Then after the show the clip.
Grogu.
Show the clip. What clip, Posty? Oh, of him of the screen falling?
Where is it?
I'm not that damn good. I can't remember when that was. That was a while ago.
Well,
Yeah,
I know I
live,
did
Chris.
a upload. I had a ghost experience today. No, that was when I was at the hospital. And then
That was a while ago, man. That was right around when I first started watching you, I think, or when I was first starting to get to know you.
God, time flies, doesn't it? I mean, it really does.
I know I was watching some of our first videos and like the Chop Shop hangouts when we were hanging out for New Year's Eve the other day, and it seemed like it was 10 years ago.
God,
just last year.
There's my movie, that wonderful, awesome, best movie in the world. Let me see here. Jurassic World, the Minion movie sucks. No, not that one. It's weird, you think it should be like right here, and then when you go look for it, it's like, well, what the hell did I name it?
Right. Oh, did you clip it? Like, did you take a clip of it?
I made a short so people don't have to go through the whole long video to find it. Oh, right here. I found it. Here. I think I'm allowed to share the screen.
Oh, yeah. You've got the keys up in here.
Let's see here. Let me go here. Actually, I mean, is there anybody? Okay, I found it. Now, hopefully, I'm not taking over your show.
Well, that's what I wanted you to do. You're fine, man. You always bring the good content.
All right. So everybody was here. I was having a fun time. I was just like answering questions my own way. I'm not always 100%. I'm serious, but I'm serious in a fun way. So here it is. And I know I got to hurry up because you got to get to work. Here we go.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Here.
Oh, you got it in slow-mo. Awesome.
Yeah, I did that. I command you to answer me. Is there anybody here with me?
This was crazy when I was watching this.
I remember that night.
And I added the music. if there is somebody here with me, can you make something move?
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, I heard scratching sounds.
Right in that corner.
Then I pointed to yeah.
Whoa! Whoa!
That's
My
crazy,
green screen
Eric.
got taken down. Oh snap! Hold on, that's awesome. That's awesome. I did slow motion in here too. Did you move my green screen?
Did you move my green screen?
What? I did slow
Bomb
motion.
goes off outside.
I love slow
That's
motion.
crazy, man. You heard scratching. You were probably about to say, I just heard some scratching. Gee, anybody that knows Eric, you guys know that he would never fake anything like that. That was pure.
Oh yeah, did you see the look on his face? It was so damn authentic, man.
Well, let's think about it for a second. I mean, if you want to break it down, that happened an hour 30 minutes into the show. So to fake it, I would have to time it somehow to fall in an hour and 30 minutes while I was speaking. I mean, there's no string in my hand.
No, man.
I'm not an actor. I'm not that good of an actor, except for cartoons.
Yeah, you're actually a really good director too.
People in the chat this Saturday, Lord Gypsy will be out doing card readings. I'm just trying to raise some money to get more episodes made because you guys see Chat and Spooky, they really want to be in episode 4, but it's going to take you guys to make it happen, to get them in episode 4. Because you guys want to see a Darth Morales?
Ooh. Stuff's not cheap, guys.
Oh my gosh, don't tease me. Don't tease me.
This animation stuff is no cheap project to work on. Tease me. Okay, yeah, go ahead and tease me. Well, man, yeah, like you said, I do have to get going to work soon. But what were you going to say, Eric, real quick?
There might be a surprise tomorrow on my show, too, because after my show today, I'm headed to a cowboy store. I might get a new hat.
Whoa, no way.
Oh, nice. You're going to make me have to go get... All right, I won't say anything more. I got ideas.
This is too much. I can't take all this.
We're going to have to collaborate. Because I'm going to be on... Are you still welcoming me to the... Are you still inviting me on Saturday?
Oh, yeah, it's already a done deal.
All right,
well,
man.
I haven't created the link yet, but I'll create the link after I create my link for Friday's show. Then I'll create the Saturday show.
Okay.
That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I can't wait for that. I got a whole mess of cards up here, too, if anybody needs some... If you need a card reading.
Well,
can't party too hard Friday night.
You see this? This is the robe. This is the Jedi robe.
Hell.
That's the robe right here.
God.
Right
Chad
here.
Smith podcast exclusive, y'all. Behind the scenes. Paranormal Highway.
I got to tell you, when I bought that robe, those robes aren't cheap.
Lynn says, Chad, get some chaps. Lynn, you're crazy. I'm not getting no chaps. Some assless
Get
chaps.
some spurs.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. This was an awesome show. Thank you so much to our guest, Russ Kellett, for hanging out with us. And we're definitely going to have to be in contact and get you back on when you get some more footage. Love talking to you. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for hanging out with us. Make sure to check us out on the Chop Shop tomorrow night. Like Spooky said, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And check me and Eric out on Saturday when we're going to be doing our Gypsy Road, or Lord Gypsy, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Oh, you're gonna have me up early, huh?
That's gonna be funny.
Actually, for you, that's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, so it's evening for you.
Yeah, it's 11. Yeah, I should be all right. I'll get some coffee going. Yeah, man. Thanks so much, and we will see you guys on the Chop Shop tomorrow and for another episode of the Chad Smith Podcast on Tuesday of next week. Thanks, Spooky. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Peace.
It sound right, boys.